Okay, so we've just got the green light to start. Hello, everybody. Uh, for
Hi.
those of you who are first
Mhm.
time watchers of this stream, my name is Blendor. Today I'm accompanied by Jana. Um Maybe just to clarify, which stream are we currently watching? You are watching the Spletne and Maribor stream. For all our English listeners, the Splitne Urice is, in rough translation, web hours, web development hours, something like that. Basically, event where we talk about uh, the technology and everything that's related to it. So basically, everything in the 21st century. Enough of the grandiose overture. Let us just start with introducing our next guest. Our next guest is Jana Bergant. Uh, who is Jana? Uh, People may know her as an instructor. She teaches web development on Udemy. She has her own course. Avid developer of web technologies, JavaScript, React, and one of her latest new projects is getting to know Deno, which is a new JavaScript framework, right?
Yes. No. Yes.
Node.js, okay. Um, I'm
Yes.
going to be honest. I work in IT, but I'm not a developer. I know of all of these different frameworks, but please enlighten us. What is Deno?
Sure. So my name is Jana. I first heard of Dino a couple of weeks ago. I listened to podcasts, and one of the podcasts that I love is the one from Wes Boss, and he was mentioning Dino, and he said, "Oh, Dino's super cool." And I said, "Oh, let's check this out." And I started researching. And what I found out is that Dino is a very promising new thing. It's You could compare it to Node. It's not a new version of Node. It's not a fork of Node, but it's completely rewritten version of rewritten version. It's the one thing that it has in common. It's the same author. The author Ryan Dahl said he has some regrets. He mentioned that like a couple of 2 years ago, he said he has some regrets about Node and he wanted to make amends. So he created Deno. So what I'm saying is that Deno will not replace Node, but it's a very interesting framework. It's like a runtime for JavaScript and for TypeScript. Um, the one thing that is different from Node is that it supports TypeScript out of the box. It also runs in the server, the same as Node.js. Um, mm, and it comes with an okay. I'm a little bit nervous. I'm sorry. Usually I record and then I edit, but
Not a problem,
I'm
not a
doing this
problem.
live. So I was playing around with Deno, and this is what I found out. Mm, okay, where should I start? Where should I continue? So it has TypeScript out of the box, and what it also has is some tools that are not that you have to configure with Node.js, like unit testing, like formatting, like bundling. For formatting, I mentioned. So it's very developer friendly. Compared to Node, it doesn't have a big community. But remember, when Node started, it did not have a big community. So maybe one of the disadvantages would be it's very new. So it's like a baby. It's a baby that's making its first steps. So
Okay.
okay.
Now, the just a quick question. Also, if anybody of the watchers on the stream has any questions, feel free, just to write them down below our YouTube chat.
Yeah.
Um, so basically, Dino is like a younger brother or sister of Node.js, if I understood correctly. It's not the same project. It's just like some form of continuation of the path that Node.js started, right?
Well, the word brother would be the right way. It's not it's not an implementation out of Node, but it's a brother. The same author. It also works on V8 engine, the Chrome V8 engine. Maybe I can show you the architecture. Okay, let me.
Okay.
Up. Okay, now I have to move the screen. Okay, architecture. Here I have it. So it's similar to Node. It has V8 engine, and it can V8 engine can compile JavaScript, can interpret JavaScript, and Deno has built-in TypeScript. And when you run Deno code, it transpiles the TypeScript into JavaScript and runs it. And then in the backend, it doesn't have C++ like Node.js has, because Node.js backend is written in C++. It has Rust. And the Rust programming language is known for being very secure and very fast, very capable. And there is another thing in between, that's Rusty V8. Rusty V8 is the thing that enables JavaScript code to talk to the backend Rust code. So everything that is done with the server, with the libraries that can be only run in the backend, are done with Rust, and that makes it very fast. And also then it has Tokyo, that is for asynchronous code to be able to write workers, all the asynchronous stuff. As I mentioned before, I didn't say one of the big features is actually that Deno is very secure, because in Node you can run files, you can access network, you can do all sorts of stuff out of the box. But in Deno, you have to enable it. You cannot access network, you cannot access file, you cannot do anything as if you don't explicitly say this code can run, this code has access. So this is one of the advantages of Deno. And one more thing, when I'm comparing to Node, Deno has promises out of the box. Like in Node, first we have callback, and we all know callback hell, horrible. Then promises came, and then async awaits. But in Deno, we have promises out of the box. So the APIs that are in Deno are implemented differently than in Node. All return a promise. They don't return a callback. This is another thing. Maybe we can just start working, and I can show you some code. Yeah.
Sure. Great. I'm just checking here the YouTube stream. Maybe just a couple of questions from our viewers. So Bruce W2099 is asking, does Deno come with anything like npm? So does it have like a package manager?
Thank you, Bruce. Yes, that's one thing that Deno is also making a big change. It doesn't have a package management like npm, but it's a package manager itself. So it runs the code and it compiles the code. So it has a special way of handling dependencies and everything. I will show you when as we do stuff. I have here some notes, so maybe we can just start working. Maybe we can start with running the first program, and I can show you how package management is done in Deno. Yes. Okay, so let's start with the first program. I have some links here and some code samples, so let's start. Okay, so this is the first program we can check in Deno. This is like Deno has a standard library, and this is like an example, a welcome file. This is a welcome TS file. If I open it in a browser, it opens like this. That's because the Deno Lens, that is their CDN, knows that I'm opening it in the browser, and it shows the friendly version of it. But if I take this file like this, and if I go to the terminal and I say Deno, run, so what it will do, it will compile the TypeScript code and it will run it and will what this simple program does, it just logs some string, and here it is. So every time we run Deno and and we put a TypeScript file in it, the Deno will compile it and it will do a result. And we can run the file just like this by passing the URL. So this is I know what some of you might be thinking. You might be thinking, running a URL from somewhere. that could be a little security risk. But as I said before, Deno is running in a sandbox. That means that no access to files, no access to networks, no access that can be that could be damaging. Okay, maybe let's go here and see how we install it. Deno is like a simple executable file, and when you install it, you can run it just by it does not have any dependencies. So install it, and then when you have it installed, you need to set up your environment. I'm using VS Code, and if you're using VS Code, you need to enable this extension. This is a their extension. So before you have it, I will disable it just to show you what happens. Reload required. Now I will. Now let me. I'm sorry. Where I'm sorry. Okay. Gist. I'm here. Okay. I have this Gist. You can go to my Gist file, Gist page, and you will see some code samples I have here. Let me show you this one. I will import a package like this. So this is how we import in Deno. We can just import it by passing the URL. We don't have to download it. No npm, no dependencies, no node modules. Here it is. But because we don't have enabled Deno extension, the nodes, it won't recognize TypeScript file, because in nodes we usually import it without the TS ending, the TS extension, and because we don't have it, we get an error. And also, if I write Deno dot env, what am I doing? Deno dot env.
So I presume
I will get an error.
Okay. Yeah. I presume that importing URLs is just like they are is a big advantage for Deno in comparison.
It's a big advantage. It's a big advantage. I will also show you where the files are cached and how we can reload them. Mm-hmm. So let's go back to the extension. Deno, and I will enable it back. Okay. And now you can see that there is no more error and there is no more, and Deno types are now recognized. What you also have to do when you start with your Deno, you need to, in your VS Code, that's for the settings of the VS Code, you need to add this Deno enable and true, and this will set up your environment so you can work with Deno. As I said, we can run TypeScript and we can run JavaScript. So let me show you on the log. Let me just put something full. Okay, you notice I'm here, and I will Deno run index.js, and you can see I have a full. But if I run ts, I will the Deno will compile JavaScript, and I will again get the result. I was showing you before how I could run a program from the web browser. I will run it again, but this time I will add a flag to it. I will add a flag, and I will pass in the reload. So now, because I have run this program before, it didn't download the file, but it was already cached. That's what I've been saying before. Deno caches all the files. So now, because I have added the reload flag, we can see that it has downloaded the file again and compiled it. And let me show you where it puts it. The Deno location is here, and here are the caches. This is the dependencies. It puts dependencies here, and caches, that is the compiled cache. And this is the TypeScript, the TypeScript that has been compiled. It is in here. So when you run the reload, it downloads it again and it puts it in here. And you can also set up for it if you have many projects. Of course, you won't use the same modules. You could have like an oak this version and an oak this version in two projects. And what you would do is set up a Deno dir. That's an environment variable. So you could have different dependencies for different projects.
Okay,
yes.
I can also see a couple of new questions.
I'm sorry, I'm being a little bit.
No, not a problem.
Yeah.
I mean, Deno is new for everybody, so we get it if we need some time, to do a couple of things. So Priya Vrat is asking in what type of projects we could use Deno in the future. Are there maybe any specific projects that you would recommend Deno or anything like that?
As said, Deno is a baby, so I would not recommend using Deno in like a large production kind of project, but something maybe you are working over the weekends, or some smaller projects, some MVP projects. What you could do is maybe you could build a chat, because Node and Deno are very good in in doing asynchronous code and WebSockets, and maybe you could also do an API. You could do some server scripts. So all that Node.js can do, Deno can also do, but it makes your experience a little better. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm just going to link this to another question that we've got from Luca. Luca is asking, does that mean there will be no community libraries? I think that if Deno is at this baby phase right now, where we are still checking what it's capable of, I presume that there aren't that many libraries available for Deno. Is there a plan for Deno to have more and more community libraries in the future?
That's a very good question. Let me just show you. Let me open a browser, and I will go to Deno page. Let me again remove this. And here you can see we have a third-party modules. What Deno has is some very good standard libraries. It has out of the box. You see here we have WebSockets and UUID. That is not that we have to like in Node.js we have UUID, but it's a third-party thing. Here in Deno it's integrated already inside. Also we have formatting. We have codes for doing servers. So this is the standard library. That means that it's tested by the Deno. It's verified. And then we have third-party modules, meaning you could also write a module and commit it here. You could upload it to Denoland server or some other servers like pika.dev where you can host it. And here we have some third-party modules, like for example, Oak is something that's interesting. That's a middleware framework for Deno HTTP server. It's maybe you could compare it to Express in Node.js. Like this, what you do is you import it, You always import it from that's standard. You always import it like this. Then you set up an application, and then you can do return a response. And it also has a routing like in Node.js. We can add routes, and I can show you an example of an API I've written maybe later on. But yes, we have a lot of modules here. Maybe I can show you some more, and we can go to Oak later. What else could I show you? Maybe let's see. For Mongo, if you always want to use a database, then you have drivers for Mongo, you have driver for Postgres, you have all the important things that you need to do. Then you have modules for session, modules for yeah, all sorts of modules. But yes, as you have said, it's a baby thing, so modules are being created every day. I have just upgraded Deno, and it's before it didn't have linting, now it has linting inside, and so every day is new things are happening and new modules are being created.
It seems that it's a quite a thriving community. Looking at all of the craze on social media right now.
Yeah. Well, it's a new thing, so we'll see what happens. There are a lot of things that maybe come and sound exciting, and then in 2 years they go, and we'll see. I like to watch how things go. Yeah. And any more questions?
At the moment, no. But if anything comes up, I'll let you know.
Okay, then let's create a server. Here I have this is my gist, so I will not type this. I will just paste it. I hope you don't mind. I will show you. I will put this into. Let me remove you. And I will put this like this. So what I have here is I import serve. That's like I said, Express, not yeah, like a server. And then I set up the port, and then I'm waiting for some requests. So let me run this. So what will happen? Deno run index.ts. And what will happen? An error. Why? As I said, Deno is out-of-the-box secure, so meaning you don't have network access without explicitly saying this program can access network. So what we need to do is add flag to Deno run. So allow net. When I run net, okay, and then I have to allow, and then we will get some reply from the server. Let me put it here. And this is a hello world example. So let me show you what I will press the Control C to stop, and I will show you Deno run.help. And what I can see here are all the permissions we can set. So if we would want to add all the permissions, we would pass the flag -a or allow all. Then we can allow environment variables, network access, file system reads. So everything has to be explicitly passed to Deno. Okay, what else I can show you? Deno help. I was Deno help. So the commands that we have in Deno are run, we have seen, and then we have formatting. So if I scramble my code up and I write like whatever comes to my mind, and it's a little bit messy, then I run Deno fmt, and all my source code will be formatted. So that's a nice thing. And then we have the bundling, so we can bundle all our codes and dependencies into a single file. This sounds interesting. Then we can install a script as an executable, so we can always run it like the, where was it, the welcome. I can maybe show you later, or I can show you now. I don't know. Okay, let's access the environment variables. Let's let's not jump here and there. I will show you how to access environment variables, and not to type here. I will again go here. And then my gist. Okay, full gists. And that's my gists. Okay. So what I will do here is I will access the Deno environment variables. I will change them to an object. Then I will listen if I have any port in the environment variables or any host, and I will pass this to the server. So like this. Okay. Like this. And then I can export a port, and I will set it to 801. So, okay, now I can run it. Deno run. Maybe allow init. When I allow it with init, I will get another permission denied. Why? Because I gave permission to access the network, but I did not give permissions to init to access the environment variables. So what I need to do is add this flag, and then it will run. Okay. So now we have our app running on port 801. So this is how Deno is secure. We can grant access to anything we want. Okay. Then I can show you. I have some. I can show you an example. Another one example. I don't know if we have time. Maybe I can show you an example that is already in third-party modules in the standard library actually, and then I can show you the API that I have created, and we can go through the code, and I can show you some things. So, and then we have some little time to answer if any questions come up. Is it okay?
Okay, great.
Okay. So, examples. I will show you chat. I will show you the chat. Chat. And we will run this server. So this is this code is using WebSockets, and we can run this code by simply just calling this TypeScript server.ts, and we will have a chat working out of the box. So let's run it. Let's go back here. We can stop this one. I will take this, go back here, and I will Deno run allow init. Okay, chat server 880. It should run. Okay, and I'm the only one on this chat, and I will say cuckoo. Okay, and then somebody else will join. And I'll say PP. And here we say cuckoo PP. And what's happening here? We can see the log that are running in that file. And here is message 1 cuckoo and message 2 PP. So this is an example out of their library, but I'm guessing that you are curious how we can create a real-time application like an API ourselves. So I have some code, and we can go through it. Is that okay? Okay. This is my book I'm writing. I'm writing a book about Deno. It's currently in 45% complete, but I plan to finish it in a couple of weeks. And then what I will do is create a course on it. So when everybody gives me comments and gives me suggestions, I will create the final draft, and then I will create a course. So, but let's go back. Let's go back to
We will, of
a
course,
little conversion. Beep, 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 beep. Is this allowed?
We will, of course, include all of the links to the course and the book in the description of the video. Again, if everybody has any comments, any questions, feel free to put them into the live stream. Yeah, let us just continue.
Okay. So what I have here is a little API. It's a very simple API. It does not use any database. I use a JSON object and I return it. But I will show you. We will use the Oak framework I was talking about before. That's like similar to Session or to Express. So let's do it. What we'll do? Maybe I can just. What I do is first I import the Oak, and I import application, and I import the router. So this is what we talked about before. We create a server with application, and we use a router to specify the endpoints that our API will have. Then what I do is create a listen for port and for host in the environment variables. And down here, then I run the application and I listen on the port. Then I create a router. This is the router I imported up there, and I create the endpoints. I will have one endpoint for all the courses. So this is an API that returns the courses. It adds courses, it reads courses, it deletes courses, and it updates the course. In the course, we will have like a title and an author and ratings. So this will be an application. So the server listening on ports and the router with the routes. First, we will have one route for all the courses. Then we will have a get route for fetching one course based on the title of the course. And we will have post and endpoints. That one will be for adding a course. Then updating the course. Here I will update the ratings of the course, and I will delete the course based on the title of the course. So each endpoint will be handled by a method. We could pass in here a function, but I created a method. So get courses will simply return the data from courses. Let's go back to data. To have data, I set up an interface. So like I said, the course data will have a title. The JSON object will have a title, an author, and a rating. And here is some sample data. I have title 1 course, 2, 3 courses. So get courses will only return this JSON object. Maybe I can run it so we can see. So I will stop this one, and I will say Deno run. I forgot. Oh, I have it from before. Okay. Okay. Did I save this? Oh, I did. I did not. Okay. So now because I have run Deno, I have to stop it. and I have to run it again. I will show you how we can do this differently after I do this. In Node.js, we have NodeMon, and I will show you how to use Deno, but let's not jump through. Let's make our life easier. So, okay. It cannot be found. Why? Well, because here we have set up these endpoints, not the root, but the courses. Let's go to the courses. So here we have our JSON object returning. Let's see what the other endpoints are doing. So then we have the get course. This one will get the parameters from the request, and I will filter all the courses to get the matching parameter. I will filter the course array to get one course, and then I will return this course. Then the add course will be a little bit different, because I will wait for the request body. I will listen. If I get the JSON, we will send JSON object to this endpoint in a post endpoint, in a post request, and add course will listen to get the data, and it will insert it to all the courses. So I will push course that I get from JSON. I will push it to courses array, and then update course will match the title. Again, we will get the title from the parameters. We will filter it, and if we get the matching course, I will update the rating. So we can update the rating of the course, and I will update this data, and I will return a response to 100 and message OK. And delete the course will only look for it. We look for the title, and we will filter it, and and remove it. So maybe we can test these endpoints. So courses, we can look for which one? For chatbots. Here we have it. But now, what about the post? Let me use a Chrome. I'm using this Servista. Oh, okay. So what I will do is I will make a little request. I will create a post request. This is Servista is a plugin for Chrome that enables you to send HTTP requests. And since I cannot create a GET request through the browser, I will use this plugin. So I will send a request to localhost here. So let's go back to code. We send a post to courses. So here we need to send a post request, and we need to pass in some JSON data. And what we will pass in is an object, a JSON object. It will have a title, Deno, and author will be Ryan Jekyll, and rating can be 10. I think he deserves it, a 10. So I can send a request a post JSON with an appropriate header and message OK. So now we should, if we look for this if we look for this course, it should be here. So let's try it. Deno should not be here. We have sent a post request, so the data should be, as we have added here. So we have looked for the body value, and this should be pushed now into courses. Okay, so let's try it. And it is here. So this is a little endpoint example. We can also see deletes and updates, but this is all the code that we would. This is all the code that we would need. So an oak framework, a router from it, and then router with the endpoints and handling methods, and this is it. Okay. What I wanted to show you before is that we can, when we write code, we usually don't copy and paste it. I didn't want to copy and paste it, but since we have limited time, I just paste it here. You can also find it in my gist. But usually when we write code, we first import the framework, then we set up a router, then we create one endpoint, and we save and we run and we modify and we find bugs and we debug it and so on. But we don't want to each time to be like stop this, run this. But what we can use is a similar thing that we have in Node. That's Node.js. It's Node.js, but in Deno it's called Deno. So it's here. I use Google for everything. So Google and Stack Overflow and yeah. So Google is my friend. I don't know what I would do without it. So the Node, it's like Node.js. We install it by like this. I have it installed, but reinstall it. And I gave permissions to it. Like you see, we can, right now I have added to the node, I have added only permissions to read, run, write, allow needs, but I could also give all the permissions, so allow all, but I gave it this. So now I can run instead of Deno run, I can do a Deno, what am I doing? Okay. Salam. I'll just like the node, like this. So it's again listening on ports, but the change is that when I go here and I create a change like on here and I save the file, the node will restart the server and listen for changes, and I won't have to. It will make my life a little bit easier. So, as I said, Deno has unit testing, it has linting, it has formatting, it has all sorts of stuff already built in, TypeScript built in. So that's the reason why I like it. So, maybe now is the time for another question. Yeah.
I'm just checking the stream, and Garima is asking in what type of projects could the Deno framework be used. As you have mentioned, since it's a new framework, since there are a lot of new things currently being developed, you could use it for all the different projects that you currently use. Since it's new, we recommend maybe just doing some hobby projects before using it on a bigger production scale, just to avoid anything missing and potentially having problems because of it. Do you maybe have, Jana, any specific project that you have worked recently with Deno? Do you have any little thing that you find it quite cool that you did in your spare time?
Well, actually, I'm writing all the code samples for my book, and one of the things that I will do is create a chatbot because I have courses on chatbots. So I will do a chatbot that is integrated with Dialogflow on Google, and I will make a Deno version out of it. So it will have a natural language processing and everything that chatbot needs to do, an API to to store data and yeah, track
Right.
what it is doing.
We just
Yeah.
got a question from Bruce. Bruce is asking if we could demonstrate a simple unit test. So maybe we could check any unit tests, linting, just to see where they can find it in Deno, and maybe just a simple example of it.
Sure. Okay, let's go. Let's go here, and I'll create another file, and I'll call it tests.ts like this. And I think I have some code, some sample for testing here. What we need to do? No, I have it. I have it on. I'm going to show you just this one that I have on Gist. I think I have it on Gist, so I can show you the one I have. So Gist. Do I have it here? I don't even have it. Oh, I have it. So what we have is a standard library for testing. Asserts. Let me go here. Voila. I have too many browser tabs opened. Does that happen to you?
All the time, all the time. I can't remember life before having at least 50 browser tabs open. So
Yeah.
I tried using, one of them bookmark managers and like one tab and stuff like that, but it just became like a dumping ground for all of those YouTube videos and random PDFs. So
So okay, this is a standard library for unit testing, and it has some already built-in tests that you can use, and we're gonna create one. So I'm gonna import it, import from asserts like this, and then I have some. Oh, which one was this one? Yeah. Well, I will just do a little, just a little assert equal. So I will set name to Jana, surname to Bergant. Then I will set the full name, and I will test it if this is the same. I have to stop this, and I will say Deno test test.ts. This is it. So it's already integrated inside.
okay, this is very simple from my point of view. So
There was one more thing that I wanted to. I was just thinking about it. We were using the Oak library, Oak, and I'm gonna show you something like as we were when we're developing, we're usually we're creating versions, then we are downgrading, upgrading, removing bugs, and things are changing, and we don't have like only one version of the library. I was in my sample, I was importing from the mod file, and I was importing from the latest oh, that's my cat. From the latest version of Oak. But as you can see, we have down here, we have all sorts of versions. We have the main version, but then we have the older version. And if for some reason we wanted to use an older version of this library, we would have to import it in a different way. We would add, we would import it like this. So not Deno x oak mod ts, but we would add this afna add, and the version we would put it here. So by adding this to the URL, we would import a certain version of the module. So this is how versioning is done in Deno. But if you import it like this, then you are using the latest import.
I presume that this makes things quite easier, you know, if you just have to add the and the version number, and since you can run everything in Deno like a URL, I think that there's quite some time that you can use for, I don't know, making coffee or anything like that.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. There's something else. I have these little notes here of what I wanted to say, but I mixed them all up. So yes. Maybe not now. Maybe I will just confuse you if I start something. And as I said, what I would recommend is doing like simple projects at home, play with it. You know, that's why we are developers. We love to explore and we love to learn new things. And this is what gives us joy. So, you know, it's something to explore and to play around. I think that's important that we take a little time to find new things. If it's only just work, 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 and you know what needs to be a little play too.
I completely agree with you. Maybe just before we end, where can people find you on the internet? I presume you have your own website. Do you have any social media handles?
You know, like every developer, the website is currently needs to be upgraded. Yeah. But yes, as I said, I'm writing this book on LeanPub. Deno, I like the LeanPub because it's an idea of creating a lean project. So I don't want to create a final version of the book and say here's the book. I want to get comments from the readers. I want to I want them to say this is missing. I want you to add this. This is wrong. And when I have the final version, I will create a course out of it, and I will put it on Udemy, and everybody that buys this book now will get a course from for free. And where you can find me is here. So I'm on Udemy. I have a couple of students from all over the world, and what I teach is chatbots, Google Assistants, then Jekyll. As I said, I I need to upgrade my page. Yeah, then sentiment analysis, and then JavaScript for the beginners. So here's where you can find me. Or also you can send me an email to Jana. Oh, okay, I can show you my page. I'm a little bit embarrassed, but okay.
Everybody's embarrassed about their website, so don't worry about it.
Yeah. So it's a simple page, and you can send me an email to jana@ucan-courses.com. And if you have any questions about Deno, any requests about what should I put in the book, feel free to find me. Or if you want to chat about development, I'm working from home, so what I miss most is having coffee with, with friends. I can talk about geek stuff.
Great. As you've heard it, the book is coming on LeanPub, leanpub.com/Deno. Check it out. Also check out the Udemy courses. I would like to thank you for your time, Jana. This is new waters for everybody, and you were brave enough to go into the depths of Deno. I will also eagerly awaiting your new book and course. So at the moment, this is it. Thank you for your time. Thank you to all the viewers, and see you at the next Spletne stream. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Bye.